It's me, Renee. I'm back. And as you can see, this is my October TBR. And yeah, I have some fun plans. Yeah, I would say fun plans for October. So October, it's spooky season. It's when Halloween is. If you've been there before, you probably know that I'm not like a big. I like Halloween. I don't like to be scared. I just kind of, I suppose, I like to be like I like witches and like fantasy stuff, but I don't like to be like I like to be scared. I like to be scared. I might be scared, but I'm not like in the Stephen King realm. So like I like to be slightly scared in a way. But yeah, my TBR for October has kind of shows off like yeah, it's kind of very fantasy based. And yeah, and let's just show them to you because I just kind of found some books right now and I think like, oh, there were quite a few more than I thought first. But you know what? Yeah, let's just get to them. First, we have Something Close to Magic by Emma Mills. Just a beautiful cover. And this has been described as a cozy fantasy. And yeah, gotta love those. So yeah, I've heard Emma Mills has this is her first fantasy book. She has written contemporary romances before. But I found this in the bookstore. I thought like, you know what? That cover intrigues me, and that backstory intrigues me. So you know what? I'm gonna get. Yeah, and it's all about bakery and magic and whatnot. And yeah, definitely my style. Then we have From Bad to Cursed by Elena Harper. So this is the second one in the Paybacks of Witch series, or does it have like a series name? I'm not sure it has like a series name. Doesn't really seem like it does. Yeah, anywho, yeah. It's a contemporary adult paranormal romance series set in, I was about to say backwaters, set in like rural US, and there's like a a whole city where it's just kind of just witches and witch families and stuff. And yeah, then we have yes, you've seen this in videos before. Yeah, so it's The Marvelers by Donian Clayton, and probably I have. Oh, I lost it. But yeah, I have actually started this book. I've started last year, this year. I have started anyway. I got one chapter into it, and then like yeah, shiny other books. I do want to read more in it because even though I like what I've read, like I've read like one maybe two chapters, and it was good, but it was just kind of still you just kind of get into their world. So it's like you know what I kind of because sometimes I mean in some books it's kind of like you just love with it from the get go, and some books you kind of have to read like a few chapters before you get really into it, before you really like are into the world and really enjoy the book. And yeah, I do enjoy it, but I feel like so far it's just the world building. But I want to get past the world building and kind of get caught up in this book and this Marvel of book. And also the second book just came out. I feel like it's kind of like a good time to like, finish this book. Also, it's kind of giving the Halloween vibes because it's fantasy. So yeah. So yeah, I kind of want to try to read. Well, if not finish it, at least read more in it. And then we have This Coven Won't Break by Isabel Sterling. This is also a contemporary fantasy. This is contemporary YA fantasy, and it's a second in a series. So yeah, it's a second in duology. So it's the second one. I believe it's kind of both kind of goes flashback like before what happened in the first book, but also like goes to the future. So it's kind of a prequel and a sequel, I believe. Um, and also there's witches and queer witches. So yeah, that's just very cool. I love the first book. I I have been saving this book for like Halloween time. So yeah, definitely gonna check it out. Then we have It Happened One Midnight by Sarana D. Wild. This one also actually has as an audiobook, so I might do it as an audiobook as well, like mix it up. But yeah, it's fairy godmothers, but like set in a it's a adult fairy godmother's story, but like witches, wishes and stuff, and yeah, kind of into it. And then we have two library books. We have The Beast and Bethany number 2, and The Beast and Bethany number 3. Yeah, supposed for yeah, Revenge of the Beast, and we have Battle of the Beasts. So I read the first book in Norwegian, and I got the second two books for library. Kind of wanted to check them out. I got them in September, and like so far they've just been sitting on my shelf. Like, but now I think like you know what, I want to read them now because yeah, they're very much Halloween focused. I mean, it's a beast. It's kind of like Roald Dahl or like a series of fortunate events ish vibe to it. And yeah, definitely think I'm gonna check out this series. I kind of have to. It's a library read. I mean, I have renewed it, so I can suppose renew it again. But I feel like if you're gonna get a book from the library, you should either read it within a month or two, or you should give it back because if not, someone else isn't getting the chance to read it, and that's kind of mean. I feel like kind of yeah, not that nice. So yep. And then I also have some more non-fiction books because there's non-fiction theme that's happening in September here in Norway, but it's also happening until the 15th of October, so I have some more time. And also, this book kind of fits both with non-fiction but also with the Halloween vibes because it's The Theory of Everything Else by Dan Schreiber. So Dan Schreiber is one of the people behind the No Such Thing as a Fish podcast, and he also has a new podcast of his own right now called We Can Be Weirdos, which is kind of the same thing as this book. So this book is interviews of people who believe strange things, people who believe in aliens, people who believe in ghosts, whatnot. So it's non-fiction in a way that he talks to people that believe this stuff, though it's kind of like aliens, really. So yeah, kind of like yeah, interviews of different wackos or weirdos in a way. And yeah, I feel like this is gonna be a fun read. It's gotten lots of good look good praise. We have Mad Scientist, The Devil in Music, Ancient Chinese Medicine. Yeah, lots of things in there. And yeah, then we have the Mammoth Book of Losers by Over 2,000 Years of Epic Failure and Underachievement by Carl Shaw. So this is kind of like, yeah, I would say it's kind of in the same vein as, yeah, where did that book go? From someplace. Yeah, anyway, it's kind of in the same vein as, yeah, as the Epic Book of Heroic Failures, where it's like, it talks about people who've done bad things, or people who, yeah, people who are losers who didn't manage whatever they supposed to do. And yeah, briefest career in dentistry, most inept executioner, least successful celebrity endorsements. Yeah, lots of those kinds of stuff. So it's, I mean, I suppose the pick cover makes it looks like a war book, but it's more than that. It's just lots of different fun things. That's yeah, failures and losers, and yeah, excited to get to it. It's a bit of kind of looks a bit like big and scary because it's so big. Though also it's not huge. I mean, it's well, yeah, it's 500 pages. But yeah, I won't try it anyway. And of course, also it's a non-fiction book. So I feel like non-fiction books, at least for me, I feel like it's kind of more like you can't start them and then not read them in one sitting because often you can read a bit and then put it away. Of fiction books, I feel like you should read them in a few sittings. At least that's kind of my idea of it. So yeah, but like if I don't finish this book in October, I'm not gonna be mad. But I think I might want to start it anyway. And then we also have Fans by Michael Bond. And yeah, this is a book all about fandom. So it looks into backseaters, furries, Trekkies, Potterheads, Whovians, lots of different fandoms. And yeah, very much looking forward to reading this one. Haven't read it soon yet, so well, I haven't read it yet. I mean, so many books, but yeah. And I think that is I feel like I've forgotten something. Yes, I have. Yeah, give me a moment. I have forgotten several books. Well, 3 books. But yeah, we have A Lake of Feathers and Moonbeams. It's a retelling of the Swan Lake. It's a YA retelling, and it has a polyamorous love story. So it's all of them together, not just 2 of them. And yeah, I've been wanting to read this for years now. Haven't, but thinking maybe I'll get it in October, hopefully. Cross my fingers. And then we have Flower Heart by Catherine Bakewell. So this is kind of giving me all the fall vibes with the flowers. And yeah, it's a power you can't control, a curse you can't undo, a voice you can't forget. And yeah, definitely want to check it out. This book came out this year, and yeah, it's kind of fun to read some books from this year as well, not just earlier books. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah, sometimes it's fun to pick out new reads, and this one definitely is a new read. I wouldn't really say I heard people talk about it that much, but yeah, anyway. And then this book, I'm kind of like, it's a chunker. And like first I heard like, oh, it's supposed to be like very cool story and whatnot. And then after I bought it, it's like, oh, people said this is a scary book, like why horror? I'm like, oh. But I feel like sometimes people say like this and this in horror and this in romance, and then you read it like, is this a romance? So like labels that people put on things is not always that firm and precise, I would say. So yeah, but it is Beloved Like Magic by Liselle Sainbury. It is a YA witch book. I believe it's a YA witch book with like several it's not just one witch, but it's like witch society. The end. The back says, to save my family's magic, I must destroy my first love. I never wanted to be a killer, but I am a Thomas witch. We suffer and then we survive. So yeah, she has to destroy her first love. That's something. It kind of, I suppose, like in a way, kind of give me the Raven Boys vibes, just that things. But yeah, I want to check it out. I've had it on my TBR for 2 years now. I want to say. So yeah, you know what? I'm curious. Yeah, yes. And my dear friends, I think that is more or less it. Yeah, I also kind of want to continue with the Legendborn series because first of all it's duology, and now I know pretty sure it's supposed to be like third book there as well. But yeah, the second book in the Legendborn series, I'm blanking out name on. But yeah, it came out last year. I want to check that one out. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this one on audio or read it because I listened to Legendborn on audio, and honestly, a lot of it I kind of had to skip because it was just so creepy. I suppose maybe would it be creepy? Would it be less creepy or you read it myself? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, anyway, did really like Legendborn. I just yeah, it was creepy at times. So I'm kind of curious, can't think like which way I'm gonna tackle the rest of the series. And yeah, that, my dear friends, is my October TBR. And as always, I might pick up some other books, might not read them these as well at all, but those are the books I want to read at this point in time, really. And yeah, if you've read any of these books, if you have a book you want to recommend me, if you just want to say hi, you can do that. And I'll see you soon. Bye.